The following presentation is for mature audiences only.
Who are you?
He's a fine man.
All hell is broken loose.
He's a great broadcaster.
He's a very powerful guy. Absolutely brilliant.
Feared by men, adored by women.
He's a smart boy.
It's patriotic.
It's no big deal.
It's the end of the world.
I might as well tell you now. He's a monkey.
And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome in to another edition of The Wild Side with Eric Clark. I am in your no way, shape, or form humble host, Eric Clark, saying thank you for taking time out of your busy day solving all of the world's problems on social media to give this video a watch and a listen. If you like it, like it. If you think other people are going to like it, give it a share. That's how the channel grows. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel so you can get notifications and updates when I drop these new videos. Thank you very much for those of you that have been subscribing. You're helping the channel grow, and I can't say thank you enough. Make sure you're following me on all of my social media platforms. So if you do have a suggestion, you can't leave it for me here on YouTube. You can leave it for me on Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram. Before we get to today's video, I do want to say thank you to the people that make The Wild Side with Eric Clark possible. First and foremost, that would be Aspen Dental. Regardless of where you live in the United States, you're going to have an Aspen Dental near you. For me, mine is the Madison location here in Middle Tennessee. Dr. David Zeman and his staff have done an exceptional job of getting me back to a place where I feel better. I feel I'm looking better. I'm eating better. They got me to a place where I'm ready to start this next chapter in my life, and I couldn't be happier, and I couldn't say thank you enough to the people at Aspen Dental. So regardless of what your dental issues may be, I thought mine were irreparable. I really did. When I walked in, I said there's nothing that these people can do. Nothing at all. No matter how much money I spent, no matter how much hope I had, I thought I was lost, and they have given me new hope, given me light, and I can't wait again to start this next chapter. Well, actually, I actually started, but I'm having a good time in my next chapter. Thanks to Aspen Dental, Dr. David Zeman and his staff at the Madison location. Again, regardless of where you are, there is an Aspen Dental near you. Connect 200 here in Middle Tennessee. They are my personal IT concierge. Any issues I have with my PC, I call Rick and the gang at Connect 200. They take care of me and get me hooked up. Connect 200 here in Middle Tennessee for all your PC tower, VPN, IP, security, whatever you need that has anything to do with the computer. Rick and the gang at Connect 200 will take care of you. I'm sorry. I've been down the past couple of days with a pretty good chest cold, which was pretty good timing because here in Middle Tennessee, we got snowed in. I was going to make a video that was requested in the comment section of my previous video, but I've been down for a couple of days, so I couldn't get to it until today. So yeah, again, if you have a suggestion for a video you want me to watch and comment on, you can leave the suggestion below in the comment section, or you can follow me on social media, hit me up with a DM on Twitter, Facebook, or Instagram, and I'll get the message that way. Thank you to everybody. In the last video, I reviewed Wagaki Band, and I go into these videos, so you know, I go into these videos stone cold. I try to be as ignorant as possible when it comes to reacting to the suggestions of people. I've been doing music format radio going on 30 plus years now. So my head is filled with a lot of music. So it's very difficult for people to go, hey, check this band out. And I go, oh, I've never heard of them before. So anytime someone suggests a band to me, if I've never heard of them before, I try to get as little information about them as possible, aside from pronouncing names and a little bit of the band information and linking you to their website. I try to go in with a very, like anyone would do, hey man, check this out, and then they play the song for you in their car or at the house or wherever you may be. That's how I go into it. I go into it with a 30 years of programming rock music in radio stations around the country, to sitting cold and listening to somebody and them going, what do you think? And this has been done from band members have come to me and said, what do you think of my band? I've had A&R people say, hey, go see this band I'm thinking about signing. Tell me what you think of them. And anytime I do that, excuse me, again, I'm still a little down. Anytime I do that, I try to go in as ignorant as possible. This is going to sound weird in the age of the internet. I have no problem not knowing something. I know that may be a shock to a lot of people, and especially those that know me and know that I'm a know-it-all. I crave information. I crave learning. So I'm not ashamed to say I don't know how to pronounce names. I don't know the difference between a no mask or a no mask and kabuki paint. But thank you for explaining to me what that is. So I want to thank everybody for leaving their comments below the video and helping me understand what it was I was seeing to fully contextualize and just fill in the gaps. Now, while these things don't really mean anything, the pronunciation of a name doesn't mean anything to me about how the band sounds or how they're performing. But it does help me on a whole. So again, thank you for everybody leaving the comments and helping me understand and giving me more information about the band, suggesting other videos, suggesting other bands, which is what we're going to get to today. And again, thank you to everybody who posted in the comment section and gave me a follow, gave me a subscription, helping me grow the channel. Thank you. I can't say thank you enough. I'm never going to ask for your money. What I am going to ask for is just subscribe. That's all I want you to do. I just want you to subscribe, follow me on social media, help me build my follower count. I'll worry about the money. That's my job, not your job. Your job's not to worry about my income. That's my gig. All I want you to do is pay attention. Been screaming that since I was 5. So this shouldn't be new to you to hear me say, just pay attention to me. But again, thank you very much to everybody who is giving me information below. Today's video was suggested in the last video's comment section. And I'm noticing that metal, I've had this discussion with a lot of people who aren't metal fans. That word scares a lot of people when you say heavy metal. It automatically puts into their brain some, I don't know, satanic, devil worshiping, whatever. And it's always completely wrong. Whereas heavy metal is some of the most intricate, highly skilled, musically speaking music you're going to hear. Lyrically, it's epic. I love metal. I've loved metal. First album I bought was I was living above a funeral home in Bedford, Ohio. And I got some money for Christmas, and my cousins Greg and David and I walked down to the Peaches Music Store in Northfield. Maple Heights. Oh, I can't believe I remember that. We walked to a mall. Was it like a Southgate Mall or something like that in Maple Heights, Ohio, right outside of Bedford. There was a Peaches Records, and the first 2 albums I ever bought with my own money were The Doors' Soft Parade and Judas Priest's British Steel. And I haven't looked back. And I think the third album I bought, I went back and got Number of the Beast, and then I picked up some Sabbath, and then got into the Deep Purple, started getting into the heavier metal as I grew older, the Halloweens and things like that. So I dig metal, and as the 90s came along, I was into industrial metal. So I was into KMFDM, My Life with the Thrill Kill Cult, stuff like that. So I dig metal. I think it's epic. I think it's grand. So I'm always looking into, more experiences in the world of metal. And I'm finding that the world of Japanese metal is enormous, and its fan base is massive and very loyal, very, very loyal. But those are metal fans. If you ever go to a Maiden show, which you should really put on your bucket list, by the way. If you ever get a chance to see Iron Maiden live, I highly recommend going to see Iron Maiden. I've seen them 3 times, and every time was just massive. In its scope, in its intensity, in its presence, in its energy. So I'm a big fan of metal. And in the last video, I was suggested a band called Lovebites. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Let's check out this band, Lovebites. So I did just a little bit of research. It is an all-female Japanese metal band, and I believe the name of the band comes from a Hailstorm song. I've had a chance to hang out with Hailstorm, actually. Lizzie Hale, her brother, and that band, phenomenal. I think Lizzie Hale is right up there with Amy Lee as far as modern female vocalists in rock and roll, in talent and ability. Plus, she's really good looking, too. I saw them at the Exit Inn here in Nashville, and they did like a drum contest. It was so cool. Right in the middle of the show, they did this. Lizzie and the band, they all just picked up these drums and started having this drum war. It was really super cool. But Lovebites, So Do I is the name of the song that was released by Hailstorm. Second album. Yeah, second album, because the I Get Off was on the first album. Yeah, I Get Off was the first album, and then Lovebites, So Do I is the second album. But anyway, so the song Lovebites, they were covering it in a recording or a practice session, I believe, and the lead singer, Asami, I have to look down at my notes. I'm going into this as ignorant as possible. So they decided to form this band and call themselves Lovebites after the Hailstorm song, because Asami, the lead singer, sounded so great singing that song. The band was formed by Miho. I'm referring back to the second movie, Sin City, a Dame to Die For, or whatever. That was Miho. So Miho was the founder, along with Haruna, the drummer. And then they picked up Midori and Miyako are the guitarists, twin guitarists. Again, there's some part, like if you say, I want to form a metal band, I'm going to say, where's your second guitarist? I get it. You know, I'm sure that you can get real heavy with one guitar player, but let's be honest, man. I mean, everyone knows Steve Harris, but it's the twin guitars in a metal band. It's just the signature. It's like I don't know, man. You just breaking a hip before you move to Florida. I guess it's like a requirement or something like that. So they do have a twin guitar attack. It's all female band. I'm going into this completely cold. The name of the song is Thunder Vengeance. I was given a different song to review, but when I looked at the playlist on YouTube, I had to go with Thunder Vengeance. I know you wanted me to watch, I think it was Holy War. Somebody had suggested Holy War. But when I pulled up Holy War and then I saw a song called Thunder Vengeance, it's really a toss-up. You know, Holy War kind of throws me back to Ronnie James Dio's Holy Diver. But Thunder Vengeance, that sounds metal, right? That sounds metal. So, today, The Wild Side with Eric Clark, we're going to review Lovebites, Thunder Vengeance. And a little side note, the crowds at Japanese metal shows are awesome. They're awesome. But will they have taiko drums? That's kind of what I'm wondering here. Very metal intro. If you don't know metal, then you don't understand why I just said that, and I'm sorry. You hear that? See, in America, they'd be screaming, throwing stuff, already be moshing. So polite. I like that. And then they thrash. Super cool. Got the double bass already kicking in. Nice. They're wearing wedding dresses? Okay, right off the bat, that's a heavy riff. That's good. That's a good riff. That is a good metal riff right there. That is good metal riff. I like that. I like that. That's good. I mean, that's metal. There's no sneaking up on you in metal. There's no stealth metal. This is really good metal. I'm guessing front row is the best place to be at one of their shows. I'm a guy. I like that off signature. You're hearing a creation of a different time signature in there. I like that, but they're still staying in the pocket. I like that. That's Midori, I believe. Right here. Yeah, that's a good break right there. Classic metal, but not. That metal breakdown that Haruna does right there with the drums, just absolutely incredible. Classic metal right there, but not. And I'll get to that after the video, but there's classic, but it's not. Good break. They like added one. Back into that riff. Good riff. Wow. Okay, so a couple of things real quick. First and foremost, that was metal. That was pure metal. I'm hearing, you can hear it. Excuse me. you can hear that early British metal influence, that Rage, the Iron Maiden. I'll even put in Judas Priest, especially at the beginning there. I was getting at the beginning of that tune, I was getting a lot of like Flight of Icarus, Die With Your Boots On, kind of Hellbent for Leather, that early 80s, late 70s, not thrash metal, but the metal that would become what we would know it as. But I'm also hearing, so I love about this band Lovebites, and all of them, Asami, Midori, Miyako, Haruna, and Miho, these are all obviously excruciatingly proficient musicians. And again, what I'm finding fascinating about this Japanese metal movement is they're all parts and pieces of other things that are able to come together, make these projects while still maintaining these other elements. It's very rare. It really is. You know, Bruce Dickinson's doing a spoken word tour, right? He's coming through Nashville, I believe, this month. Wow, I should get tickets. But it's very rare, like you would see Bruce Dickinson with another band. Or Rob Halford. When Rob Halford did Fight, that was really weird. And then Ripper took over as lead singer. It was kind of weird there, like, oh, Rob Halford's doing another thing. He's in another project, but he wasn't in Judas Priest. What I'm noticing a lot about these Japanese metal bands, whether it's Wagaki Band, Lovebites, Bandmade, I think I got that right, and the name just left my head, and I'm sorry about that. But they're all able to maintain multifaceted gigs and then coming together to make something like Lovebites. Now, from what I understand, Miho has left the band to take a temporary hiatus. So they did tour last year, Lovebites did, and they've only put out 3 albums, and they are taking a break, and we'll see if they get back together or not. But what I heard in that, and what I heard in Wagaki Band, and what I'm hearing in Bandmade, and what I'm hearing in these other bands is this very traditional metal sound. You're hearing it. You're hearing the Halloween. You're hearing the Megadeth. You're hearing the Dio in there. Even the Yngwie. I'll throw the Yngwie in there. And then you're hearing, at least for Lovebites, what I heard was that progression into industrial metal of the late 90s, mid to late 90s. So I'm hearing, especially in particular, this one part of the tune, the break riff, where it drops down and it starts to do that off measure drop beat right there with the guitar. I was hearing in my head a song called Trust by KMFDM from Nile. I think the album was Nile that came from. So I'm hearing also an influence of industrial metal in there as well, that having to do with the German metal influence in that band. Obviously, it's heavy European metal influenced for Lovebites, and I think they're doing something new. So they're incorporating all of these traditional metal sounds into this band, but then what they're doing, as Wagaki Band was doing, is they're bringing in this new sound that's coming out of Japan. This new sound of bringing in and dropping in these other elements that they grew up with that are brand new, that they came up with. So it's a different riff. It's a different time signature. It's traditional, but it's manipulated just a little bit. And as far as the drumming goes, the Haruna on the drums, bro, I'm going to be fair and say that I don't know too many people that can run 5 minutes like that. I mean, she was basically wind sprinting for 5 minutes on that double kick. So being able to build the bridge with Miho and Haruna, because that's where bridges in music are built. They're built between the drummer and the bass player. And to watch that with these young women coming out of Japan, again, it's mind-blowing, the level of proficiency that these young women have when it comes to music, let alone a very difficult genre to establish bona fides. to establish bona fides in metal is very difficult because metal fans, I hate to break it to you, metal fans, but you're very pretentious. Very pretentious. So it's very difficult to crack that egg. I think they have nothing to prove. This is just a new metal band. This is no different. The sound, the vocals that Asami brings. You know, Bruce Dickinson used to be called the human air raid siren. Rob Halford has a massive voice. When you think metal, I don't want to give him too much credit, but there's a cat from a band called Accept, and the singer's name is Udo von Dirkschneider. He catches a lot of crap, mostly because of his fashion. Like if you go back and watch some old videos, especially the classic Balls to the Wall, Udo von Dirkschneider, only his voice can do that. But it's a great metal voice, right? Whether it's Noddy from Slade or Bruce, or I'd even give, Ronnie James. I don't know. I think Graham Bonnet was a better vocalist for Rainbow. But anyway, so you want epicness to a metal singer's voice. And Asami does such a great job of, first off, in English, props to you, ma'am. Just absolutely props to you for singing metal in English, and you're from Tokyo. I have a hard time understanding people in the South sometimes. So the fact that you're doing what dude from Scorpions did, just learn it so you can sing it. And again, I'm hearing that as well. So I'm hearing that 80s German English wave of metal that came out. I am hearing that in this tune. It's fantastic. But Asami brings and they all do, but her vocals, they're not screechy, they're not squeaky, they're not, and again, don't take this the wrong way, they're not light, right? And that's what you fear when someone says it's an all-girl metal band. To say that there's not a predisposition in a listener's head, if you say that to them, you're lying. You're doing an injustice to reality, because it's a truth. When you say an all-female metal band, whether it was L7, right, or Kitty, or whomever, I don't think Kitty was all-female, though. But when you say that, if you say this female is singing metal, a lot of people will doubt that. A lot of people will doubt that will sound well, because metal is supposed to be grand. And it's like, bro, metal singers aren't far off soprano. They hit these high notes. So I don't understand why you would think a female couldn't do that. And Asami does it better than, I don't know, man. She's better than 80% of the guy metal singers I've heard to this point. And I have heard a lot of crappy metal. I've heard a lot of great metal. This is right up there. Lovebites, without a doubt, for only putting out 3 records, they've toured a lot. So they do have the bona fides. And the sound of that, between Asami's vocals, the twin guitar attack, and again, it's typical in metal, and I think people overlook the importance of being able to work off of one another. So while the drummer and the bass player are building those bridges to get you throughout the song, whether it was a choral breakdown or a finishing measure or whatever the case may be, these two twin guitars can play off of each other. And the more time they spend with each other, the better that chemistry becomes. And as you hear in this song, I didn't hear any mistakes. It was very clean, very crisp, very bright. So even though it's metal, even though it's very metal and grand, and I'm going to invade a country theme song, it was still very bright. Remember last video I talked about that California metal, the beach metal. It's a different metal. It's like the Eric Johnson, that bright Steve Vai kind of metal. It's not that doom and gloom kind of stuff. And that's what this is. And I'm really blown away by the new metal scene coming out of Japan. I like that they're taking these older influences like Scorpions, like Maiden, like Priest and Rage and Halloween, and they're also recognizing everything that's happened since then and then creating something new. I really dig it, and I'm looking forward to getting further and further into their library. So again, thank you for suggesting to me watching Lovebites, and I can't, Thunder Vengeance. Just what a great name of it. And again, that's the epicness of metal, right? I love that they embrace it. They're beautiful women. They're great musicians. They're highly talented. I hope that their hiatus doesn't take too long. I would love to see them tour the United States. I know that they've worked with Hailstorm and other bands like that. They've played the Vaughan festivals. They've played the Download festival. So I know that they have an audience who would absorb any more music that they put out. And I really hope that they do. So again, thank you very much for suggesting Lovebites. I'm sorry I didn't go with Holy War. Maybe I'll do it next time. I don't know. I doubt it because I've already watched it. So I had to go into something cold. Again, if you have a suggestion for a video, a band, a song, something you want me to watch, make sure you link it to me down below. I will link the band's page and a link to this video as well in the description of the video. Make sure you're following me on all of my social media, and make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. That way the channel can grow, we can get more members, and we can do more stuff, and I can make more videos. I'm feeling much better, so hopefully I'll be doing more videos in the days that come. And now that the snow has melted outside and I'm feeling a little bit better, I'm sure that these will be just churned out at the highest rate. Again, Lovebites, Asami, Midori, Miyako, Haruna, and Miho. They are on a temporary hiatus, and if you haven't picked up or heard anything from Lovebites, I highly recommend you check them out. I was blown away. Again, when you say all-female metal band, I shouldn't be, though. After watching what I've been watching over the past couple of weeks, I really shouldn't be too surprised. But this one did surprise me in how really good it was. Traditional metal. When I watched the Wagaki band, I was hearing a new kind of music, whereas Lovebites is metal. It's traditional metal, but it's been updated, right? It's like a new logo on an old product. It's like the same car, but with a new paint job. It is metal. It is traditional metal. It's just new, because it's coming from a source of influence that is quite different from what that traditional metal was influenced by. So again, I want to thank everyone for suggesting Lovebites. I want to thank Lovebites because that was awesome. Epic, I think, is the best word I can use to describe that. Again, if you have a suggestion, leave it below. Make sure you're following me on all of my social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. That way you get updates and you can leave suggestions. You can hit me up with a DM. Make sure you're subscribed to the YouTube channel. That way the channel grows and we can do more stuff. I want to thank Aspen Dental and Connect 200. They're the ones that make sure that the Wild Side with Eric Clark is coming to you at the highest of quality. Again, I'm never going to ask you for money. I'm just going to ask for your interaction. I guess that's more valuable to me than your money. I'll worry about my money. So make sure you give me a subscribe. Make sure you give me a like and a follow. I say it every time, and I mean it every time. Make sure you're looking out for each other. Make sure you're looking out for your neighbor. Try to do at least one good thing a day. I'm Eric Clark, and this has been The Wild Side.